All right, we are live. One more episode of Let's Draw with Ghost Paper live stream. Ready starting, can't even pronounce my words here. So today we're going to continue our drawing. I'm just rearranging windows here a little bit. Here we go, put my chat on top. And let me just make this a little bit bigger. All right. All right, guys, so I took a little bit more time here on this illustration. We're gonna get it going, and at the same time, we're going to, hey, Midnight, how's it going, man? Welcome back. We're going to record a video, which I'll start right now. And this is gonna go on the channel as a speed paint video. So I hope you guys are doing good today. Hope you guys are still staying safe. As I was just saying, like I've made a couple more changes. So basically what I'll probably do is delete this. I'll probably just merge everything actually. And call this reference fill. Something that I like to do, I always keep my color blocking in one layer. My sketching layer is all here, or my sketch layer. And now I am just pretty much going to start because I got my color palette here at the top, and I'll go back to it if I needed to make, if I need to reference back. So let's just take down the opacity of the sketch layer quite a bit. And now I just want to find, hey, Donna in Abstract Chicken. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Thanks for all the compliments, guys. So another thing that I was just saying, based on the previous stream, I usually, I have been making my illustrations. Oh, nice, Herman. Download your brushes. You're welcome. You're welcome. I've made those brushes specially for you guys. But as I was just saying, when I get to a more high resolution canvas here, I then find the thickness of my outline lines. And I just want to make sure that I do something that doesn't look too bold, too thick, or too crispy. And by crispy, I mean like the outlines are maybe looking too jagged, but this should be good enough. I think this was 3%. Let me just try. Actually, that was 2%. Let me try 3%. Let's do a quick test here. Now let me try 2%. Let me actually go with 3. All right. I'm glad to have you guys here on this live stream, and let's just get it going. I'm also going to bring down the opacity even more. All right, let's get started. I hope you guys are doing good. Let's begin. Hey, CJ Burrito, how's it going? Are you guys drawing anything today? Are you doing, are you taking a pause from drawing? Are you looking for inspiration? Let me know in the chat. Like for me, for example, I mostly go to Dribbble and Pinterest these days, and I look for kind of like general ideas, I would say. And then I just usually make like a sketch on paper. And then I finally get going with the sketch on the iPad. I don't know if the music's too loud, too low. Still trying to at least like play a little bit of music for you guys here on the stream. And just let me know. And one thing that I posted on the community page on my YouTube page. The animation. What do you mean by the animation? So, oh, because you're still working on that animation, right? As far as I remember. But as I was just saying, guys, one thing that I posted on the community page is that I really want to get to do more live streams and do more stuff, especially now, how things are going, how the world's just pretty crazy right now. I think we all just can spend more time maybe drawing, doing the things that we really like, since we have to stay home anyway. So I've decided to try to live stream a few more times for you guys, possibly every day, and with that just be able to give you guys more insight, a little bit more about my process as well. So hopefully that's helpful. Herman saying, I'm working on the artwork for my newly YouTube channel. Oh, that is super cool, man. Took me a while to make mine as well. I usually, just funny enough, I start with the logo. Without the logo, I basically can't do anything. And like the logo, I mean the name and the visual. So without those two things, I have like a very hard time doing anything else, like in terms of like what is the artwork, what are the colors I should use, and the name is important. A lot of people maybe don't mind, and they have names. They're just, you know, you can also go with your full name. That is for sure. But a good catchy name is always helpful, or it can be helpful. For example, when I created, hey guys, hey Elise, hey Donna, when I created Ghost Paper, I can't really remember what the other alternatives were, but the way that I thought about it was actually quite interesting. I was like thinking that, you know, this channel I wanted to make about drawing on the iPad, using the iPad as a medium, because the iPad is such a lightweight thing, you can carry anywhere. So as much as I love the other drawing methods, like drawing on your graphics tablet, drawing on a Cintiq, and all these other processes, I do find them amazing. But the thing is, like, the iPad is just so mobile, you can really take it anywhere. So making a channel that encourage the mobility, I think for, you know, nowadays something really important for people who, you know, don't have like a lot of space in their homes, or people who have very busy lifestyles and they don't have a lot of time to really sit down and do a lot of setup before they can actually draw. So I thought the whole thing about the iPad was really, really cool. And plus it still is one of the best drawing surfaces that you can find, with the, you know, the precision, the perception of color, and also the technology, you know, the parallax that you have here between the pencil and the screen is almost zero. So you can almost see it or feel it. So for many reasons, I thought the iPad was a really good thing to make a drawing channel for. And, you know, then I found Procreate and I thought it was really cool. So this is all to say that when I came up with the name, I just thought that like Ghost Paper means that we're basically not going to be drawing on paper. It's something that you draw, but it's going to be digital. So I know it may or may not translate to a lot of people, which is okay. I don't want people to always have to fully understand what Ghost Paper means, but I just thought it was kind of cool that I still had a chance to to create a name that is connected to what this channel is about. And now, if this channel is forever going to be on the iPad is a very good question. Maybe not. Maybe something else will come up and it will be much better, and mobile at the same time. And if that does, of course, we're going to take a look at it. But at the moment, I think I'm gonna stay here with the iPad. Sometimes I think that there's only like a few, there's a limited number of tutorials that I can make about Procreate at the same time as well. So I've been dabbling with, been trying to see what other apps are coming out, but like Adobe last year just did such a weird job, and I think my opinion is shared amongst like a lot of people with the whole releasing apps with a subscription model. That was, they start from the principle of a subscription, but they could have done it differently once you're actually opening things on an iPad. I truly believe they didn't have to do the subscription model. They just did what was, I would say, maybe even easier, because that's the system they already have in place. But they need to understand that the people that use the iPad is a different crowd. It's like a target audience that possibly might be just working on the iPad for a little bit of time, and then they also have a subscription already of the paying products that they own on the computer. So I don't know. I really tried to see what was out there in the market, and I still don't think Adobe has it by any stretch. So let's see what happens. The one thing I thought was interesting, I do have to say, was that Illustrator actually had a few features that were interesting. The one that you could just create a logo, which actually, it's funny because Herman is trying to make his YouTube channel and his art, and you could actually create a logo, and you have access to many of the features in Illustrator. It's not like when you just have to kind of watch the video that I made about it if you're trying to understand what I'm trying to say. But basically, when you create logos on the iPad version of Illustrator, you have like all of these like different tools and options you can use, which are actually quite cool. But it will come with a subscription model, pretty sure. So that is still unfortunate. And also, I just wanted to say, I'm not 100% confirmed on this, but I think I just saw a tweet. I think that the Affinity products are free for 3 months. Any Affinity software, and please don't quote me on that, but I think I saw something on Twitter from the corner of my eye. I haven't really dug upon this information, but I think the Affinity products are free. So you guys should maybe see if this is really true and if this is really happening, because it's free for 3 months. If I really have the time to do some digging, I'll post it on my Instagram or Twitter as well, I guess. I don't really have a lot of followers on Twitter, but focusing on one social media at a time, I guess. Your YouTube name is the same of your first OC. What? Sorry, man. What's an OC? What's OC stands for? Let's go all the way here. I also think you guys are gonna like this one. And I wish I could do a little bit more tricks in this live stream here, such as clipping masks, layer masks, something that I've been talking about a lot, which is the non-destructive way of working on Procreate. always I highly recommend that. But that non-destructive way can come in like other ways. For example, what I was just showing you guys just before the beginning, this is my color blocking. Keep that as a layer. You never know, you may get changes. You can do those really quickly on this like single layer here. I always keep that. I never delete that. Maybe only when I'm finally done in this illustration, then I'll go and delete it. But just save your work in chunks and parts, and maybe you know, make copies. It's always good. And that kind of experience, it's what I try to show on my videos, because that experience, that knowledge does come for everyone if you keep using Procreate, but that experience comes usually with time. And basically what happens is the learning time, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and you're going to make a few mistakes where you can't really go back, and you'll say, you know, finishing illustrations at lower resolution quality. And now, for example, and I've done this myself, and I've finished many illustrations with low resolution. And now, for example, if I wanted to do like a Redbubble shop or a Society 6 and sell my designs there, I would have to redraw them. So it's kind of like a lost time that I wouldn't really have if I had done the right thing from the first place. So that's why seeking information is so important, because it can help you guys to avoid some mistakes. And they are not necessarily like big mistakes at first glance, but then once you actually, you know, are trying to do stuff like what I was just mentioning, trying to open an online store, or trying to like make t-shirts out of your products, or even like being approached, say like you have an Instagram, someone looks at your artwork and says like, "Wow, that's so cool. Can I buy this from you and sell it as you know, put that into my products?" And then if you're interested in that, if you've done the file at a lower resolution, you may have to say, that is really cool, but I would have to redo my work. And it's not the end of the world, but then again, having the necessary information can just help you save some really good time. I'm also curious to know, let's see what's up in the chat. It's true, free 3 months. Yes, so that's awesome. For Publisher on iPad, that's interesting. I really would like to play around with the Publisher a little bit more. Right. Yeah, I'm really interested in playing more with Affinity, even for desktop. Even it's just that things have been quite busy, haven't had a lot of free time, and even dedicating myself to this channel takes quite a bit of time. The reality is you have to give up a lot of things, guys. Don't really have a lot of time to, oops, please go back. Don't really have a lot of time to like read books, do things like watching a lot of movies. My goodness, this just doesn't want to stay. Let's see if it stays now. Almost. Maybe we'll break it apart again. Yeah, I'm just gonna redraw this. Playing catch with that curve there. I think it's just too long and it's breaking. I actually think I had it and I broke it again. Okay, So let's just do it in 2 parts. Come on, Procreate. You're gonna collaborate today, or what? Do you guys struggle with curves sometimes? Guess I'm really struggling with curves today. Here we go. Ugh. And this thing, I may just restart my Procreate. 1 second, guys. Let's restart this. Come back to it. Yeah, Gilo, I think that's what's happening. I think there is 3 months free on Procreate. Oh, on Procreate, on Affinity products. I just saw someone talking about it on Twitter. I think it was an account called Affinity Tutorials. It's like a bigger account that mostly covers Affinity. Yeah, every time I move this, it's kind of exploding. So I guess we gotta pass this part. Funny thing is that when I sketched this, it wasn't doing this. I was just being very stubborn here. You know what? I'm going to jump to another part for now. Come back to this later. What is my favorite Procreate brush? Well, because I do a lot of these illustrations this way, which they kind of look like vectors. Funny enough, but my favorite brushes are these 3 brushes here. The Studio Pan, which I think someone said it on the chat. This is part of the 2 brushes that I offer for free on my Gumroad. Technical Pencil is great to like sketch things, and Noise Brush is always good to do any kind of shadows and highlights in an artistic way. And that's basically, it's a good tool set. I was also reading from like a great book by Stephen Pressfield, and it's a book called Being Pro. And it's really funny, he talks about that people people who are still learning a certain tool, they like to play around with several things. And once you acquire your tools, they don't have to be that many. They can just be like a few tools, like 5 tools, 3 tools sometimes. And that may scare people at the beginning. Say like you hire someone, shows up at your door, like you hire like a craftsman, like a woodsman guy, and he shows up at your door with like 3 tools, and you're like, whoa, where's your toolbox? Where are your tools? But the fact is that he's done that job so many times that now he knows exactly what works, what doesn't work, and the tools that are necessary to complete the job. So I think that kind of is an analogy we can do about brushes, is that there are so many brushes out there, but really after a while you would find the ones that really work for you, and you should then just save them into your favorites folder and keep those in a separate folder, and that folder is the one that it's like your go-tos. Yes, that's actually the book, War of Art, and there's another one. I think he wrote 3 books. I think, yeah, it's War of Art, Becoming Pro, and Do the Work is the 3rd book. I love all of his books. Like, guys, I also have to say these books, this is not paid promotion. I have no deal with Stephen Pressfield. These books changed my life. The reason why I got the channel, why I have the channel, why like everything that I've done in the last maybe couple of years, is because I read these books and I've identified this thing that he does in a book called resistance, and how we have this, like, whenever we're starting something in our minds, we have like a million questions and a million doubts. Like, oh, is this gonna work? Should I do A or B? Should I go and try something new? And it's kind of like ingrained in our like bones, this feeling of second guessing everything. And that is because we are always, in a way, we're always afraid of change, but we confuse that with failure. So in other words, this is really crazy the way that he explains, but it definitely makes sense once you read the book, is that humans are like driven to not change, to not be nomads. For example, millions and millions of years ago, when nomadic tribes were like moving around the continents, and like a long time ago, this was such like a dangerous thing to even leave your village or like whatever you used to live and known as home, and go for like undiscovered territory, because you're leaving behind whatever you knew as comfort. So you're leaving behind a lot. And just now think of like the ones who actually had the courage to do that and discovered other things, and discovered continents, land, and many things. And I know some bad things happened because they were also a lot of exploratory moments in that. But the moral of the story is like the fact to try something new. We're not really geared towards making change. We just want to like stay where we are. Don't try anything new. Don't try to beat resistance. And that's what he identifies as resistance. And once you identify that, it becomes easier and easier to be able to talk to yourself even about things like why you're not doing. For example, why you're not drawing. Why you're not trying to do like a different style or something. And I mean like things that you kind of know in the back of your mind that you want to do it, you just haven't done yet. You keep postponing things. So it helps you with all these matters. It's really, really cool, guys. So what screen protector do I use? I think I use the iCares matte screen protector. Do not get the glossy one, get the matte one. And also make sure to watch the video that is on my channel about screen protector, because I think I do a comparison between the iCares and there's another brand. And the thing that I liked about the iCares is that it helps people, like they are just like us, like if you're alone and you need to put on a screen protector, it's actually quite tricky. So my first screen protector I've applied with a friend of mine, and it's basically one friend holding the screen protector while you're using the thing that takes off the bubbles, and it's really, really tricky to do by yourself. And the iCare solution actually does in a really smart way, because they give you some stickers and elastic bands, and they do it in a way that you like put it perfectly by yourself. You don't need any help, and you do it in stages. So that's also why it's really, really cool. You can do the first part, see if it's okay, and then you keep going. You take the first layer, peel it, put it on the iPad, but then you still have the second layer to kind of take it off and then take off the bubbles and do all the stuff. So it really helps you to, you don't have to do everything in one go, and then you do it and you're like, oh, it's not perfect, and you have to pull the, the protector all the way back, and then all of a sudden now this thing has like fingerprints, and it has like a lot of dust. And I definitely recommend you to close the windows. Close your windows, because it's crazy how much dust is in the air. And once you put on one of these things, like honestly, 20 seconds in, and it's like this thing starts to catch dust. It's crazy. Yes, I'll try to share a link to this book. Yes, it is the Stephen Pressfield. Let me just see if I can quickly find this guys. Here you go. This book really changed things for me. Can't promise, it's one of those things. It may work for some people, it may not work for everybody, but if you give yourself a chance, just have to be open. I think that's rule number one for any book. You just gotta give yourself a chance when you're reading something, at least like, the first chapter, the first words, and ultimately it just has to resonate with you. The words and the way that it's written, I thought it was really cool because it's a very casual way, very poetic way at many times. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that's totally fine. It depends. And I totally, sorry, I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but Affinity is really great for multiple things, especially if you do vectors and kind of raster. Procreate is really easygoing in the raster world, so pixel-based application. The funny thing is that Procreate has like things you can do that allow you to kind of, make things look like vector. For example, what I'm doing right now kind of looks like vector art. And I like the way that you can work with that. It's really interesting and fun, mostly. And I personally have to say I don't find Affinity super fun. Like, in a scale of 1 to 10, maybe I would give it a 7. It's just like, it's a bit more, you have to go around and you have to click on certain things to get where you want. And Procreate is just like more like the fun of drawing per se. Midnight, you said this yesterday. What was the comment? I still don't know what the comment was. Yeah, some people like to color in Affinity. And there's definitely a lot of cool things in Affinity. I think I did a video about coloring in Affinity now that I'm trying to remember. Guys, I think the curves are kind of broken in Procreate. Today they're just moving around like crazy. I hope this edit will make sense. I feel like I'm also drawing all over the place here today. The edit for the video that I'm recording on this other camera here. It's just shooting top down. I got 2 cameras here on the go, guys. I usually do a bit more of a jumpy video anyway, so I'll cut all the pauses, all the deleting pixels like that, like slowly deleting pixels, all that doesn't really make the cut. Oh my goodness. I don't know, I've never heard this comment, but it is hilarious. Do you know which video was that from? I was trying to save the best comments for, like, I don't know, maybe one day if I ever give a lecture. I wanted to show like the funniest comments. If you do remember which video has this comment, please let me know. Yeah, sometimes it's just getting really glitchy. I feel like I need to restart my iPad. And when it gets glitchy, it's kind of... it's a bit... you feel like you're redoing your work multiple times. Did you guys see, I was actually going to make maybe I'll make a video about that, but there's a new iPad Pro was released today, or, you know, the talks of what it does and what it is. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because I can honestly say, guys, if you already have one, it is not worth it upgrading, because it is mostly about the camera and LiDAR technology, and I think it may have I have to double check as well, it may have a better processor, but really it's mostly about AR and camera and editing and 4K camera, all that stuff for drawing and illustration. Totally fine. Procreate to do any observational drawing. No, I haven't done that, but it might be interesting. The one thing I'll say, I think a lot of, you know, again, it's really glitchy today. A lot of these, if you're doing a course on observational drawing, you may have some like very specific things, such as like you have to draw on paper. So I think you just have to know what the mandate or the rules of the course are. Yeah, the curves are broken today, guys. Officially. I still haven't done that last curve that I still need to do here on the... It's coming along. I was now thinking, how am I going to do these shadows? I think I'm not going to draw. Yeah, I'm not going to draw the outlines now. Oops. I am adjusting. I really like to get the lines like looking very close to my sketch. I know there's a lot of time lost in doing that, in doing so. But once again, this is the thing that the fun part of Procreate and kind of like almost cheating the system is because I'm making stuff that looks like vectors. So I adjust my lines just so they're like really looking perfect. And it's just, you know, that kind of a detail comes across once you look at a finished piece and you look and you think like, wow, there's some really nice attention to detail. I always like that kind of stuff. So that's why I always strive for that. And circles too. Like I make a circle, but then I usually adjust it. For example, I could have left the line the way it was, but then even now, still could be a little bit better. And once again, still not quite there. Oh, it's another glitch that I love. So when he makes multiple lines, just when you want to adjust it. I'm gonna make more videos. I'm gonna make more tutorials and, you know, turn this one into a speed paint video. Really what I'm going to try to do is basically more live streams. I just feel that right now we could all use, because of social distancing and all that stuff, I think we all need like these hangout places where we can still talk and have some sort of a social interaction. It's important. Oops. I've heard about Paint Tool, Sai, I guess it's called. Never tried. Have you guys tried it? And if you've tried it, do you really like it? Do you think it's better than Procreate or some other apps out there? And my other question is, full of questions, is it pixel based or is it vector based? Paint Tool. See if we can fix this little corner. Thank you, New GRFX. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about just putting in the extra work. Like, you know, you can, I think once you're starting something, it's always good to start slow. And if you're starting to draw and you're not really putting like a lot of detail just yet, that's totally fine, but it's important to keep going. And try to improve your art, put more details into your drawings. Okay. Two little rocks are done. I'm actually going to save this. Yeah, this video is going to be long to edit. Of course it's not going to happen. You know what? I'm going to have to create a new layer here. Oof. All right. This one worked. We're getting there. We're almost done with the outlines. Haven't learned how to adjust lines yet. So actually I want to show you guys something. So, you know this thing that I've been doing, for example, drawing a circle, you can always edit like a quick shape like this one, move it around. But once you go and you hit the arrow key and you're outside, this has become pixels, it becomes raster, right? So what a lot of people don't know is that if you go into the actions menu, go into preferences, and go into gesture controls, and now if you go here into quick shape, oops, let me just continue recording. I gotta get my focus on. 1 second, guys, I'm about to show the rest of this. So as I was just saying, when you go here into quick shape and you turn on, tap this little square, which is between the brush size and brush opacity, and this little square, when you install Procreate, is actually for the eyedropper. So I have my eyedropper on my quick menu. This is just to say that you're going to lose this thing of the eyedropper, but what you're going to gain is by leaving this on. So now I'm just going to step out of it. As I said, this becomes pixels, right? But if I tap that little square, I get my edit shape back. So this becomes, and this is just a glitch. The reason why this is duplicating was never like this. But what I'm trying to say is that you get a redo, like a free redo for your last created quick shape line. So if it's a line, if it's a shape, you can redo that by turning on this thing. I've spoken in many of my tutorials, but I know that not everybody has a chance to watch every single tutorial that I do. and I use this a lot, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about this. I would say that's the hot tip for today's video. Somehow I'm gonna have to redo this. All right. Let's take a look at the chat. You're welcome. I'm using Clip Studio Paint, but I'm having fun. I'm new, I guess, to using Clip Studio Paint, but I'm having fun learning this app. That's pretty cool as well. I am definitely interested in knowing a little bit more about that. Just gonna adjust the lines. Okay. This guy here. Oops. It's going to be flipped, sent to the other side. Interesting. All right, it did work. So some things are working here. Okay, this can all go back. What's the time, guys? Oh my goodness, I've been drawing this. Still got a little bit more time. Rest will be fast. Procreate's Brush Studio. It is daunting. You should try to watch some of my videos on Procreate brushes. I'm still due to make one, like really explaining a little bit more. But to be completely honest about Procreate brushes, it really comes down to two things, actually three things, but this is how I can demystify Procreate brushes. All the Procreate brushes are is one shape source, and I'll show you right now. So let me just actually take a break again, show you guys something else. So let's just go to like an interesting one, like this one. So this brush looks, well, this one is a combined brush, but I'll still try to show what I'm trying to say. So you see this brush looks super cool. The way that this brush works, in a nutshell, is one shape, and the shape is this. One grain that masks that shape. So the grain in this case is just, it looks like a paper, like a paper texture. And the third thing that I said is the recipe, and the recipe is like, what is the blend mode in this brush? What is the the flow? Like, does it writes all the time? Does it fades out as you're writing? Does it has tapering? Does it has color dynamics? And I know this is where it's like, does it has this? Does it has this? Does it has that? And that's a lot of options. But in a nutshell, in a very like crude way of seeing this at face value, a brush in Procreate is literally a shape source in a grain and the recipe of it. Like in the recipe, you can be playing with that for over and over and over. But once you realize that Brush Studio really is getting a source, getting a shape in a grain, and mixing up and like with the different options, like is it a colorful brush? Does it have tapering? Doesn't have tapering? It really demystifies that. I hope that I can demystify for you guys this thing, because I remember for me as well, I used to be like, wow, this is a lot, and it's not as bad. All right, let me finally try to make this curve here, guys. I'm gonna go wide here. I may have to redraw this thing. Not even joking. Looks like I got it. Okay. No worries, you're welcome. My question is, guys, if I keep making live stream sessions, would you guys still come over to watch these sessions? Do you prefer the video tutorials? What do you guys think? I'm gonna try to push this. I guess it is like one good thing about live stream is that you guys can really ask these questions and it can answer those questions kind of like on the spot. So there's something to be said about live streams because of that. And I guess as someone said earlier, I was talking about history today a little bit, making analogies so I could explain Stephen Pressfield's book to you guys. And hopefully more people will watch it. Oh, it's all good. Oh, really? Oh, no worries, man. You're welcome. I try to do these live streams earlier, but just my life right now, I can't. I have a lot to do during the day. But if I even have a rare chance of doing this full time, then I'll of course do live streams earlier. I'm also trying to finish this, but it still needs a little bit more. It's the last layer of outlines. It's also funny because for a lot of you guys, yeah, that's true. So, like, the live stream, I usually see a certain crowd that comments on my videos, but I don't really see like much of you guys commenting on my videos, but I am seeing more like familiar faces coming to the live stream. So that's kind of nice too. It's almost like I can interact with people that watches my videos over the comments and interact with you guys over live stream sessions. But for now, I'm just kind of staying home. So once the day's done, it's actually not hard to live stream. But once things go back to normal, and I do hope that they go back to normal very soon, who knows if I'll be able to live stream, to continue to live stream, but just gonna give it a try. It's like the Steven Pressfield's book. I'm gonna give this a try, see if I can, before I just say that I can't. Those two lines are connected. Did not know everything was in one layer here. Okay. What? All right. The live stream is more similar to a really drawing class. That's a very good observation. Wow, it's 3 in the morning. Yeah, Donna. Where are you located? If you're still there or here. All right, guys. Save this because outlines are done. Merge. Rename to line work. Reference layer. And you know what? I actually need to do this. So where am I looking at? Okay. Pants. Here's whether. Oh, I forgot a couple. No, I actually forgot a couple layers, guys. Sorry. We thought we were out of the woods, but there's still one more foot. I wish I was doing this on a new layer. I'm just gonna do it. You know what? Redo this on a new layer. Yeah, so the color, as I was just mentioning at the beginning, is because I do the color blocking over my sketch layer. So it becomes very, very easy for me to just finish the drawing because I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to, the hard work is done in that sense. And if you actually look, there's a lot of people who do that in a different way. I was looking at, there's a studio called Studio Bingo, and they do really cool silk screens, like artwork. I think they're from France. And before they, so, you know, silk screen can be a very laborious process because you have to do every ink is a pass, but they do these like 12 color silkscreen posters. It's like really, really cool. It's like a lot of work. So because they do this like laborious silkscreen process, they actually do their first little thing is to do a thumbnail silkscreen. It's like super tiny, but they don't do it on silkscreen. They just do it on paper, get like several pieces of paper. So in a way, well, Malta, it's also 3 a.m. Thank you. Thanks, Felix. So in a way, what they're doing, like in this like little thumbnail, is to also figure out the colors. And I find this process really liberating. Okay, now we finally have everything. Oops, I just gotta delete this. So once they have the colors, everything is easier. All right, guys, so now let's finally start. Is this darker orange? I believe so. So pants. Dropping pants here. No, it's not going to the background. Trying to remember. Yellow will be a lot of things, actually. But we'll just leave it like here. What? We'll do the background last. I still don't understand. Oh my goodness. It's like a breakage. Still? Guys, I am going nuts. Who can explain this to me? So let's try color threshold. Here we go. The mystery is that line work. Oh my goodness, now I know what happened. Okay. Paint, go to line work. Here we go. This edit video is going to be whacked. Oh no, and the battery's running out. I got more. Can't remember, is it red shoes? No, it's orange shoes like the pants. And lighter shirt. Okay, and now we are going to color the hair. It's like this shirt. Okay. Now create a new one. Let's apply those little shadow moments here. Cool. We are getting very close to, I'm just going to create a new layer. This color. Fill. Okay. And now we are going, yeah, I'm gonna have to quickly swap out a card here, guys. Thanks, Midnight. Yeah, I know it's coming along. New features on Procreate that I love to see. I think it would be good to get a gradient tool. Funny enough, like we still have to create two colors, blend those colors with Gaussian blur. Just got a new card. I would love to see more animation support. So right now, we can animate in Procreate, but you only have, like, you have this timeline, but maybe I would like to see like a timeline like other programs where you can see like multiple layers on a timeline and not like layers in Procreate. Each layer is a frame, but that might not be possible because the way Procreate is built just may not allow it. I just noticed it's super crooked, so I hope that it wasn't crooked here as well. Like the iPad was kind of crooked. So I think this could be cool. I always wanted CMYK support, so now Procreate has it. There's a few things that I wanted Procreate to have that came out in Procreate 5, so hats off. Those were pretty cool additions. Okay, so we're getting there, guys. Just gonna do some shadows now that are about 80% opacity. Yes. Like, yes, that's a very good point too. Like, infinite canvas wouldn't be bad. Is this gonna paint like this? No, of course not. What? Oh, this can't be a reference layer anymore. Right. How do you come up with new design ideas? Would love to know how to make the transition from tracing photos to creating your own original piece of art. I suppose that needs time and practice. Funny enough, I know I keep referencing to a lot of videos that I make. I just made a video about how to find original ideas for your art. So if you haven't watched this video, this video didn't do well as some of my other tutorials. It's one of my last uploads, and I've done this like whole presentation about that. There's a double line here. And basically, to give like more or less in a nutshell what I try to talk in that video, it's about transformation, because everything has been invented, of course, in a way. It's difficult to accept that, but new ideas are usually mix and matches of many things, or even 3 elements. That's what I talk in the video. And when you take one element from the real world and apply that into the illustration world, such as could be a photography technique. So I talk about like people who are using gradients in illustration, people are using like iridescence, there's others who are doing like neon kind of glowing lights. There's so much you can do, and you end up creating an original idea, or what it looks like an original idea, because it's going into the illustration world. So really, if you haven't seen this video, I kind of highly recommend as a, you know, kind of going to bed time, or like, because it's a bit long, but I hope that it has a lot of good information. Could this work? Oof. Let's go again. Once again, the curves acting up. But yeah, if you haven't seen or watched this video, highly recommend, guys. Getting really close here, but I know the stream has been going for a bit, so thanks for sticking around. I'm just doing some quick shadows here on this character, and I think like every pass of shadows here is going to lift up this design. Oops. And it's just gonna be crazy to edit this to the sheer amount of layers or clips. I think I'm on my 4th clip maybe. Oops, I did this the wrong direction. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Getting there. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed stylized drawings as well. There's a lot of love for realistic drawings, and I always gravitated towards this kind of artwork. And it's funny because the payoff of this particular artwork, almost like, I mean for both, but this one takes a lot of time for you to see the final result. It's always like double lines here. So I think now you guys are seeing what this is shaping up to be. Okay, let's drop another shadow here on these rocks. And last one. Alright guys, have we missed anything? Oh, there's one thing missing there. Tiny cloud. Okay. And boom. So it's gonna make one more layer, get white color, and make this back into drawing assist. Oops. It is assisted. Oh, now it worked. Oh, because I dropped onto. This is not working. Interesting. Well, it's getting late, so we are just going to wing this. All right. Here we go, guys. The drawing is done. 9 people in the chat. The 9 of you actually got to see this thing done. Here's the drawing. I'm gonna make an edit with this illustration that's probably tentatively will go for the weekend video. And I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around and seeing this artwork through. And also remember to stay safe, keep positive, and take care for your friends, family, everyone who's close to you. Make sure to talk to them, giving them nice messages. And everybody has to do their part. We're gonna get through this, all right? So I'll see you guys on the next live stream, maybe tomorrow. For that, I will need some new ideas, maybe a new illustration. So I'll talk to you guys then, okay? Have a good night, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.